reaction, so popular.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast. You've just got me in Deka tonight. Mark texts me about 30 seconds before we're going to record saying he's not going to make it.
Pulled a sickie, man.
Pulled a sick, he's got a bad head.
And he's can only see out with one eye, apparently. So I don't know what he's been doing with the other one.
Maybe he's been like some sort of pirate convention. Or maybe he went to catch some Pokemon and he got injured in the line of battle.
That could have happened, yeah. It could
So,
have happened,
we were both hoping that Mark was going to be here because Mark was the only one who actually watched the game. No, we're lying.
Well, we're lying a bit.
We watched the game. Mark actually went to the game along with Adam. Adam, for some reason, doesn't want to join with, so we can't even rely on him.
I know, why didn't he?
So we've got a mic just sitting waiting for him and he won't even join me.
Hey, man.
What if we put the mic behind the camera so you didn't have to see him?
Yeah, just go.
It would be like a blind date. Remember when they used to talk to Graham?
Hey, that was mint, that blind date.
Yeah.
That was mint, aye.
Would you shag Scylla?
No.
Why, because she's dead?
No, I wouldn't have if I was she was alive.
Alright. Is she dead?
I think she is, isn't she?
Is she?
No, she is definitely, aye. Because I remember when she died, there was like massive things about the Beatles and that, wasn't it? There was like a huge thing about how she knew all the Beatles and that, and they were coming out the woodwork. Not literally Beatles coming out the woodwork. I mean, the Beatles.
Yeah, that's really the bad terminology.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah,
well, won you now. That's what you've been waiting for.
We've even got it on the board.
Well, won you now.
We've got a new addition to a table wherever he is. We've got that very handsome Shea.
Oh, where is he?
He's over there.
Oh.
So we're now going to start calling him Shea, not Shaw.
Yes, so I need to get used to that, and tonight I'll solve that problem. I'll say Shea.
Around 20 minutes in.
I'll say Shea from that because it just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Shea.
It's not, but he's got it on it. So it's like Shaw, isn't it?
This is what you watch this for. This sort of analysis of the game.
But it's got them the things on it above it. What do you call them again?
Not them. I don't think they're them.
What are they called, man?
The Germans call them umlaut.
One of them, aye.
And he's not German.
He's got an umlaut.
An asterisk is an asterisk.
Aye, whatever. So he's Shea. So we'll get that right from now.
Right. So the team itself.
Yeah.
Richie wasn't in, so Richie had been dropped.
Yeah, I was surprised at that personally.
So we're back 5. Well, back 3-5. Whatever way you want to go.
He's playing 3 at the back again, which is. I've asked for this for years, haven't I? And I'm so happy that we're seeing it because it suits us in regards to what we've got available. Yeah. We've got so many centre halves. There's not really much else you can do.
I think the only player that it doesn't suit is probably Kenedy.
Football doesn't suit Kenedy at the moment, so that's the problem.
I don't think his shoes fit him.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. It's just he's finding it tough, isn't he?
I think he's wearing Shaw's boots.
I do agree. It's hard for him of what role he can play within that.
Yeah.
I actually thought because at Chelsea I watched him play left back and he had played left back before. Obviously a more attacking minded left back, so I would think left wing back would be perfect for him in that. But I think his confidence, his discipline, there's a few things at the minute that are just not really right.
He's just not the player he was last season. We've seen a tiny glimpse of it.
And imagine what could have brought a transfer record for him.
I know.
Wouldn't that been amazing?
I know.
You know what I mean?
But
means no, does it really?
Means nothing. No.
Means no,
absolutely nothing.
It means
that's the reason why you get players on loan to see what they're like. Oh, I'm just bourbon in the middle.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
So we could have like I say last season we got him on loan with.
Yeah.
And you would think, option on loan with the option of buy at the end. It wasn't the case. It was only a loan.
Yeah.
So on his performance last season, you would have probably thought, definitely buy him.
Yeah.
Spunk 20 million on him straight away.
He was
then
good,
going into this season, and he just doesn't look at that level. As he's not peaked, has he, compared to what he did last season?
No, I think. Well, we all know he's a better player than what he's been shown. That's facts. That he is. But I'm really unsure of how Rafa isn't capable at the moment to find that in him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a change in formation that's not suiting him. I don't know. He got off to a shocker, didn't he?
Yeah.
To be fair, and I don't know. And I don't like to dwell on games too much. I don't think the players do that. But from that miss at Cardiff, him and the penalty.
Yeah.
He didn't find a shirt, did he, for the first hour or something? Was it a record of game? Whatever it was, he hadn't found a Newcastle shirt.
Then he braved the free kick into the wall, didn't
That's
he?
That's right, yeah.
Then obviously got the penalty.
Missed the pen.
But his first game, the Spurs game, he was alright in the Spurs game. I know we got beat, but he was alright.
But you find though that in the first game, especially when it's at home, everyone seems to be alright.
Yeah.
I remember in the McLaren season when we got relegated, I thought we're mint against Liverpool.
We're winning the league that season.
And then, you know what I mean? I just feel, the first game. And actually, to be fair, there was a couple of weeks ago I sat here and said that I felt he was getting a bit better, and he was starting to look. He's still a dangerous player, but I don't know. We've almost just went this way with Kennedy, but like, you know, we were talking about the lineup now. But sorry about that. But it's like, you know, it's frustrating though, because you know the quality's there. He's the one player that we look to have that difference in a game. Yeah. And unfortunately, we're not seeing it.
Yeah, he's the one that like people compare him to the likes of Ben Off and think he's got it in him where he's got that quality to get a goal out of nothing. Has he?
Well, no, he's nowhere near as naturally talented as Ben Arfa.
Yeah.
Ben Arfa could literally take on 4 players and score.
Yeah.
He can't do that at all. Can't do that. But I mean, look at the run-down goal against Bournemouth that cross he put in. You know, the first touch in. Yeah. We know he can beat a man. Clearly, there was a goal he scored. I remember last season. I thought it was absolutely unbelievable. I think he took it down on his shoulder or something, and then
he chested down, turned. Was it Southampton? No.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember what it was. I know which.
But it was a brilliant goal, and so you know it's there. Do you know what I mean? You know it's there, but it is a shame that we haven't seen it so far this season.
So back the lineup, obviously the back three, which I think every single Newcastle fan at the moment now just craves that back three going into every single game. I think.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I can't imagine why you'd want to go back to a 4. To be honest,
especially that back three with Sher in there, because he is outstanding. We'll get on to him later on, and he's unbelievable from a player who's came in and. You think he's going to be back up, he might be alright. He's fantastic, isn't he?
And again, though, the reason why people thought he's going to be back up is because he cost $4 million or whatever it was, and the same as with Keeper. He cost $4 million.
Fernandez,
yeah. And you're talking these guys are worth. I mean, it's a small sample size. I'm not trying to get too carried away, but I'll get carried away enough to say he's absolutely unbelievable. Like, I mean, I love him. I think he's for the first time I seen him when he came on in that game when Lascelles went off injured, which I think was Watford could have been. That substitution was forced. He come on. He's never looked back since, has he? He's never looked back since.
He hasn't really put a foot out of place. He's been absolutely spot on.
He really has.
Defending and going forward, which is very rare to come by.
I mean, a ball playing centre half, or like today's standard, isn't it? It's what you look for. Like a Stones at Man City. Yeah. Like for me, he is just. He is that, like, isn't he? He doesn't mind the dog work, you know, the hard stuff. Mm-hmm. He puts his foot and he'll tackle. It's a bit dirty every now and again. He's not scared to put his foot in, but when he gets the ball, his composure on the ball is fantastic.
Yeah,
like, you know. He starts moves off forward, which is so important.
He just picks the ball up and centre back and just goes. Like, there's no stopping, he just goes. And he can pick a pass out.
Absolutely.
We'll get on the goal later, but that came from one of his passes.
Yeah, it did, yes.
Which he does every single game.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
So, midfield, obviously it was Kiyomi in there. Yeah. I'm going to make that work. If I keep mentioning Kiyomi,
it's good.
I can't mention him for much longer because one of the half of Kiyomi is pissing off for a little while. So we'll get on that in a minute. So you had those two in centre midfield, and you had Atu on the left, who had another great game, and Perez.
Yes.
And Rondon up top.
And we had one more player.
Who was it I'm missing?
Manquillo,
yes. Yeah. How did I forget him?
So
it's easily forgotten. But
I agree. Yeah.
It's probably the second game in a row now where Manquillo has been harried. In fact, he was better than harried.
He was. I mean, we'll get on to why he was good. Of course, the jury's still out on him. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, he's not a great player, is he? But you have to call what you see, and we'll get on to it why he did well. But I think that the thing with the formation is quite weird, that when you've got Atu and Kenedy, that at times almost play the same role in that formation. Like, you know what I mean? And that's Atu's had he's had a run of games now, hasn't he, Atu? And I think one thing you kind of question with him is his energy and his willingness to get back and work for the team. His lack of quality. His lack of quality is plain to see at times. That he had another chance, didn't he? Yeah. Where he's 1-on-1 and could he have done better? Maybe he could have. He had one at Everton a couple of weeks ago.
He's the type of player though. Like we've said this season that he's not good enough, but when he shows it like that, when he's starting games, you would think he's all right. He could probably play at a Premier League team.
I think so. I think
we're all under the impression that he'd be a better player coming off the bench. But when we've seen him come off the bench, he hasn't been as good as what he has when he's starting the games.
I agree. He's not an impact player as much as you think he would be because of his speed because of his speed. But I don't think he can't adapt to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs
to grow.
He needs to start in the game and grow into it. But I sat here a few weeks ago and got slagged for it and said that I think that he has something to offer. And I still do. I still think he's all right. I think Mark went off it. Were you? Yeah.
Mark. Oh no, he's not yet because he's got a headache.
It's publicity. But I mean, he's all right, and I think it gives you a little bit more balance, doesn't it? Because you've got 2 left footers on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It just gives you that bit more balance. And personally, though, I think Richie has been very good at that wing back position.
Yeah.
Because he works hard defensively. He offers a little bit going forward. You know what I mean? But I think as a wing back at that position, he's all right. He's all right. He works really hard for it. So. Like that. So I was a bit disappointed he wasn't on actually when the kick off. To be honest, when I seen the lineup, I was like, dropped in, but.
So we'll start from like Emil's done his player ratings this week, and to be fair, his player ratings were probably spot on. I agree. You haven't watched it, have you?
No.
I could tell by your face.
No, I haven't. No, I didn't even know he had even done it. So tell us.
So Emil's done a player rating this week. I think his highest rated players were the likes of a lot. So Dubravka, Shaw, I think Perez and Rondon were up there, and I would probably agree with that to a certain extent. Dubravka, another game where he's pulled off a couple of saves, which has basically won us the game. I mean, at least kept us in the game.
Obviously, there's been a lot on Twitter this week.
I know. Will you all stop saying how good Dubravka is?
I think
he's shit.
I had loads of.
But people are going to listen to this and think I'm.
Yeah, no, they would. Sarcasm. So I tweeted on the back of I don't know, was it NUFC? Oh no, sorry, apologise. Somebody had retweeted it saying
Newcastle goals.
Not the best looking. Sorry, not the best goalkeeper.
Not the best looking. That's Shaw.
Yeah, true.
Newcastle goals it was.
The best keeper in the league.
Yeah.
And I put on saying that, well, you know what I put anyway. So the amount of people, honestly, I was getting bombarded at one point where people were saying like, can't believe you're saying that. Like, what about Given? Like, probably aggressive.
Oh, well, he says that you're not sure if he's the best keeper in the league, but he's definitely the best keeper you've ever seen at Newcastle United.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
I'd agree with you.
And people are going, but you're on about longevity, and all I would say to them people is, right, okay, so you've got Dubravka now, and you've got Given in his prime. Who do you pick?
Dubravka.
You're picking Dubravka. So
he's a better goalkeeper all around.
He's the better. That's it. That's his better keeper. Now, don't get us wrong. That's not on Shea, because I love Shea Given. I mean, he's unbelievable. Like, but he couldn't kick, he couldn't pass, couldn't handle a corner or a cross.
Great shots on that.
Period. Couldn't handle a cross. But you look at Dubravka and look at the goal on Saturday. Another example of we'll put him under pressure, and the first thing he does, he plays it short. Yeah. You know what I mean? Given wouldn't have done that. We hoofed in the stands, man. Yeah. He was a bit like Tim Krul in that sense. He just could not play football, if that makes sense. But absolutely, he's a shot stopper. But obviously, people look at it longevity, and I understand that, because to be fair, he hasn't even played a full season for us, has he? Technically.
But then you can't think of it that way and think, and I'm in the same boat. The more years that pass, the better players become in your head. Mm-hmm. So I think Shea, great goalkeeper, but looking back, probably the nostalgic of it all, thinks he was better than what we physically thought he was at the time.
Well, yeah, somebody mentioned Srnicek, bless him. And for me, Srnicek isn't in the same league as both.
Oh, no. But we had, like, when we had Clark on the podcast last week, obviously Clark was in the team right the way through with Pav.
All the way,
and he said that team needed another goalkeeper, and we asked him the question, if you could take one player from our current squad and put them in the entertainer squad, who would it be? And without even any thought,
I wasn't. I just
Dubravka, straight away. Yeah. And that's so he read as a ex-professional footballer, how important a goalkeeper is to that team.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has been unbelievable since he's come in. Like, it's you can't speak highly of him any higher, can you? I mean, he come in on a game. I'd never forget it when I sat here and said
it's the Man U game.
It was, and I went, there's no way he'll play him at that. I mean, he's just come in. He's a second choice keeper at the Moscow or wherever he is, and he was unbelievable. He's never looked back since then. An incredible.
He seems like
player.
A decent lad as well, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, I love even now. I mean, the Gallagher always shout his name and sing that song. Yeah. And every time before he puts the ball down, he'll always put his hand up. And I mean, just little things like that. I think Minton. I think he generally loves the area. He loves everything about it. Hopefully that.
And to be honest, over the last few years, we've had decent keepers, not great keepers. We've had keepers that can do a job.
Yeah, I think we've always been canny blessed at goalkeeper, to be fair.
But now you look at the keepers who are currently at the club, so the likes of Elliot, Darlow, Woodman. We haven't seen much of Woodman, to be honest. We don't know what he's like.
Well, he was on the bench, wasn't he? Again. Yeah. So Darlow apparently is injured. Elliot's training with the under 23s now. So
Elliot and Darlow, one of those.
Darlow's away apparently.
He's a Darlow.
No, Darlow's away.
Yeah, you can imagine that.
So
Elliot's your senior player, so he's going to probably be there around for the likes of the dressing room. And he's probably on less of a wage, you would have thought, than Darlow.
Oh, aye, yes. But you have to remember, I mean, if Dubravka got banned or suspended, or he got injured, it only leaves you with one keeper who's a kid. So that second keeper is so important. I mean,
so you would think now, obviously,
important.
You would think now you would expect Woodman to come on.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Then obviously Elliott being third choice. That's if Darlow does go, which I think he probably will.
I think so, yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, you can guarantee that.
and to be fair, I'm not making a slight on him. He was good over a period of time, wasn't he? Especially in the Championship, I thought he was. He did a good job for it. But you move on, don't you, as a team? You can't be sentimental. You move on, don't you? And as Clarkey said about David Kelly, for example, I'm going back a bit here, but he scored all these goals, but you just get rid of him and you move on and get another player.
Bring them on.
And I think
you soon forget, don't you?
You do, of course you do. And going back to your longevity about players get better in your memory. On the flip side of that, you've got Colaccini, who I thought people went against. It tarnished how good he was.
But is that not because at the time Colaccini, he didn't want to be here? To be honest, he still played though. Like he didn't down tools or anything.
Not at all. I honestly think he was amazing.
He was good. He was a good player. But like I said, Colaccini, he still had that mistake in him at time.
He did.
He was a bit missing it upstairs, wasn't he?
He did go. I used to find he used to go wandering trying to put out fires and used to get caught.
Remember, like,
but you're playing alongside Stephen Taylor and Mike Williamson.
Yeah,
that's hard work. Like that's hard work.
Remember that pre-season game where he strangled that?
Yes, little kid. It's a great photo, isn't it? It's a great photo.
It was like Homer Simpson and Bart.
That's what I was thinking. Yes, it was.
He got sent off. Get sent on a pre-season game, man.
That's right.
Because he was great.
I loved him, man.
I think we're going off.
I know, I'm really sorry. We're still in the starting lineup, man. Sorry, I apologise. It's just, it's one of them anyway.
So, I don't even know. Dubravka, so Dubravka, absolutely fantastic.
We know he is, yes. Yeah. Shea, amazing. Obviously, we've talked about that. Lascelles was back in there again. Has had shaky games.
And he was lucky to stay on the pitch.
It's a red for me, but,
It's a red for me.
Yeah, it's a red for me. Like.
Just the way it
was a shot.
He ploughs into him. He's studs are up, yeah. Studs are up.
Why do you think he did that? Why? You think he's frustrated?
He's frustrated. He's probably frustrated. He's club captain. I might be completely wrong. So if you're watching this yourselves, I don't think you'll watch it, but I could be completely wrong. He's probably so frustrated with the fact that he got injured. He had such a great season last season. He's club captain. And these two lads, Fernandez and Shaw, and to be honest, even Clark came in and shown him up.
Clark's good, isn't he?
Showing him up.
Clark's good. Like.
And he's probably so frustrated at that. He's probably something's just flipped and he's just took it out on that player.
Yeah, maybe you're right, yeah.
Or might just be a badly timed tackle.
I think if you look at the summer, I mean, do you think that he was at all good that he did make the England squad? Because at that time,
he's probably absolutely...
His timeline would have been full of, you're going to go.
He's probably absolutely... enraged with it because he deserved to at least be within the squad. I'm not saying start no way because we saw Harry Maguire and we saw how good he was.
But it's funny though, isn't it? Because we were outsiders then, and when Maguire got picked over Lascelles, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, true.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't believe it. Obviously, and that's why Southgate's England manager. He's much better, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But we hadn't seen Leicester, so that's no slight on us. We hadn't seen them, so I mean. But
the performance Shaw had compared to some of the players, that Brighton centre back. Who was that?
The Brighton one.
Was it Brighton? Was it Dunk?
Yes.
Did he get in the squad at some point?
Or at least no. Was it not thing from Burnley?
Can't remember.
The lad from Burnley got in, didn't he?
Was one of them.
Aye.
Who if you put the stats side by side, Lascelles was miles above him, like in regards to headed clearances, blocked, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yep.
Miles ahead of him, and obviously Lascelles wasn't in, and he probably did deserve to go in the England squad. But looking back now, he was never going to make the starting lineup.
No,
ever.
No.
He's probably going to be lucky going a sub, but for his career, that would have been great.
And what I'm trying to get to was obviously you're saying he's frustrated about being injured. These players coming in doing very very well, but then it all may stem back from not making the England squad. May have had his head turned at some point when there was links with Everton for big money. Maybe not. But I don't know. And he hasn't really looked the same player as of the year before, or even the year before that. To be fair to him. So
there's been rumours flying around that there's already a deal agreed for January with him to go to. Was it Chelsea? Apparently, that could be complete bullshit just made up on social media. But apparently, there's already been a deal in place for to get that done.
He's just signed a contract, didn't he? What was he? It was a year.
Yeah, it was just a year extension, wasn't it? That's to be honest with you, I don't think it's true. I don't think Chelsea would even give him a second look now.
No, honestly, I don't know. Not at all.
Because I think his stock from last season to this season is dropped massively.
I'm being really honest here, and I've talked about it with Shea, is for a club like Chelsea, right, for what them are trying to achieve,
Yeah.
you have to be better on the ball as a defender than he is. He is terrible on the ball. One of the worst you'll ever see. He makes Mike Williamson look like Iniesta. That's how bad he is, and I don't.
It's panic mode, isn't it? Panic mode
every time he gets the ball, I don't believe that a top club would want him.
But then we could be sitting here this time next season and saying the same thing about Fernandes or Shaw, because we all rated Lascelles so high last season. But then you realise the difference when someone of a better quality comes in, and it just no time whatsoever took Shaw and Fernandes to adjust. They were straight in there.
Yeah. It's
like that being here for years.
Yep.
No, but only a couple of mistakes away from we're thinking, oh, the shite sell them.
Well, that's
football
that
fans,
is the
isn't
problem. That is the problem with football fans. I mean, you've got, I think for a defender it's kind of harder as well, because sometimes for a striker or certainly a midfielder might make the odd bad pass or blah 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 blah. It just forgets about it. But if a defender does a mistake, certainly a goalkeeper does a mistake, fuck, you're in the shit, like, you know what I mean. But
so midfield, Kiyomi, is that what it was called? Kiyomi. It was hard for them to get into the game. The weather wasn't the best, so it was very hard to control the ball, and that's what Key does best. He takes the ball down and he takes his time with it.
I think it was the game when you seen the weather, you knew what it was going to be, didn't you? It was going to be a 1-0 or a 0-0, sorry, 0-0 or 1-0. And this time we were on the right side of the result, because I've seen us play like that, and I've said this many times, by the way, that I've seen us play exactly the same way and lose 1-0, and people go berserk if how bad we've played. This time we've won, it doesn't matter. The performance doesn't matter.
So first half, we were shocking.
Terrible.
Like one of the worst we've ever seen as Newcastle fans. That was absolutely diabolical. And if I had been playing a better team, they would have battered us in the first half.
Yeah, I agree.
You can see Huddersfield why they haven't won many games and why they haven't scored many goals, because I think every shot that they took was absolutely piss poor.
Yeah, they don't have any
Dubravka was just
to
picking it up like nothing. Didn't even test him apart from the free kick.
From when I was watching it, they got in some great areas and put some mint balls in the box, but there was never anyone in the middle. Never anyone.
As Mark would say, a powder puff shot.
Aye, probably, yeah. And I think it is worrying longevity. I know it's a great win. It was a massive win, but it was a 26% possession. And I know football's not. But what did it matter? We won 1-0, so them had more possession. But we can't even keep hold of the ball against Huddersfield.
But then
and they're shite.
I think Rafa prefers it when they have more possession. Sounds daft to say it.
Well, I think he does. Yeah, I think
he prefers it because when the team got possession, they're not doing much with it.
No, and to be fair, to contradict myself a little bit, I think certainly the home games that I've had recently. I mean, I watched we against Wolves. I thought we were really good against Wolves. I thought we took the game to them as best we could, and we lost.
So as a flip side of the Huddersfield game, we probably played better against Wolves and lost the game. Obviously, Huddersfield probably had the more chances than what we did.
Yeah, they did,
and they lost the game. So it swings around about really.
It does, but that's football. I mean, Huddersfield fans would have left that game thinking, "Fuck, how have we lost that game?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've had one chance, like a really meaningful chance, I would say, and we've scored, which is happy days. Like, it's great for us. But
talking about the one chance, we had the second chance, which Perez put in the back of the net.
Fair comment.
And that's onside.
It is. I thought. Rondon done amazing for the holder play, but Atsu done fabulous. I mean, he made that play. I went round him and then found Perez, which, as you rightly say, was onside.
Our first goal, so Rondon's goal, our only goal. Rondon obviously scores the winner. That gets played back to Dubravka.
Yeah, who
it gets played to Lascelles.
He actually plays a good ball.
Yeah, so Lascelles gets the two defenders run towards him. He plays it to the right hand side of Shaw.
Yep.
Shaw just pings it like he normally does. Beautiful. Pings it over midfield and it lands to Manquillo. Am I right?
I think it might be. No, it's not. Is it not Perez at that point? Aye, Perez at that point.
Is it Perez? So it goes Perez. Yeah, so Perez puts inside, Manquillo's away. He starts in our own box, he's away.
Manquillo does very well for that goal to make that move, which makes Perez's option. I mean, Perez would have nothing, would he?
So what people haven't probably realised, if you look back at that goal, Manquillo makes the run, and that takes the players away from Perez. So that puts Perez on the right hand side, plays Manquillo in, and Manquillo is just the slightest little pass.
It's a beautiful pass.
To just put it on Rondon's foot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful pass, that.
And if Rondon's there, 9 out of 10 times he's scoring that.
Well, it was what them didn't have. They didn't have a striker or someone in the middle that was willing to be there. And Rondon, for all, it's a thankful task for him up there on his own. in that type of game, he must be fed up at times.
Especially the first half, having no service
imagine
whatsoever.
that. He must go in the dressing room and go, "How are you, lads? Like, what the fuck?"
Like, understandably, like a dick.
Exactly. But as you say, I mean, it was a wonderful team goal, that.
Yeah.
And that proves that there is quality there. I mean, there clearly is. I mean, as you
So it seemed like the goal that was scored against City, we'll get it out the back and you just break.
Yeah.
Different players involved, but obviously we were missing Yedlin in that game, so there's a pace gone straight away on that right hand side.
In fairness to Mankiw, I mean, he's not a slow player. He's not slow. I mean, he's not Yedlin quick. There's not many players are as quick as Yedlin, but to give him so much credit to have the idea in his mind to think, right, if I can just bomb on and support him, and that's what it's all about. Because sometimes you find, as much as I might slag Perez, in fairness to Perez, sometimes is it maybe that players around him aren't making moves?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly on that goal there, he's played him in. There was a one against Burnley there where he played Joselu in. If players maybe make these runs for Perez, he will find them.
Then obviously he got the goal, which was wrongfully disallowed. It was
He
a great
did,
finish, absolutely great finish.
It was a good finish. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the keeper kind of gave up on it a bit, didn't he? But it was still a great finish, though. But again, Perez has had back-to-back games where I've been more than happy with him.
Mark was actually at the game and he texted us not long afterwards saying, "I can't believe it's going to be another podcast where I'm going to have to give him credit."
Yeah, it's good.
So that's probably why he hasn't came in tonight.
That could be it. I think you've nailed it there.
He hasn't came in because he would have to give Perez credit. Yeah. But I would probably say, go as far as say he was maybe man of the match for hours.
Yeah, I would probably say
say that because there's a couple of times he grafted, and a lot of times we've said he pretends he grafts by chasing shadows, but he was grafting his arse off, getting to the players, winning the ball and moving and doing stuff with the ball rather than just standing there and making the easy pass.
He was good.
He was great, and that's what you want. That's what you can see he's capable of doing, which is why the likes of ourselves and Mark included, we get so annoyed when he doesn't do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think it's. I think that's when it goes back to a lack of quality, doesn't it? Like, because it is hard for someone to keep that up. Yeah. It's hard at that level to keep it up every week. You know, we want it week in, week out, and it's difficult, I think, for players, and certainly for him. As we all know what he can do, and we think, well, you should just be able to do it every week, or not every week, but certainly 7 games out of 10, rather than 3 out of 10.
Rather than having like 4 bad games and 1 good one, then another 4 and so on and so on. He's a better player than what he's been this season.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes, I would probably agree. I think he's. I dare say it here, but I think maybe he's been better this half, the first half of this season, than he was the first of last season. Because we always said he comes good at the end of the season.
You know, he finishes the season.
In fairness to the lad, he scored a few important goals early on now. You know, and I don't know. I don't know.
Don't forget about Perez. We're also quick to criticise him, myself included. I can't disagree. I can't deny that. We bought him for pennies.
1.5 million.
He was this player who was coming into the development squad. We couldn't even be asked to bring the manager back to sign him and take the photos with him at the ground. It was viability sat with him because he was supposed to be going straight into the development team.
That's right. Yeah.
The same way as what Ivan Toney did. Ivan Toney actually went in the development squad. Right, Perez was so desperate for players, he's straight in the first team.
Yeah.
But then you look at him, what we said last week. He's never really pushed on.
No, and he never will. I think he'll be the same player, you know, all the way through his career. He'll always be the same. I can't see him ever getting to the level where you think like, God, he's mint now. Do you know what I mean? He'll just be the same, frustrating, but has quality play.
Well, looking at a business point of view, if you're the owner of the football club, you buy a player at 1.5 million. If you want to sell Perez now, I'm getting about what, 10?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yes, maybe more actually.
Yeah.
Well, they reckon Hayden was worth 10 million. So I'm worth at least 7. So no, I agree totally. Yeah, no, you definitely get that, and I think, you know, to give him a bit of credit here, like he's been a good £1.5 million.
Well,
he's been a good one.
So I didn't really like Gouffron. I slated Gouffron a lot, but it was a similar story. We bought him for nothing, like peanuts.
Yep.
And he scored some decent goals for us. He kept us in games. Absolutely. He scored a 5 in a row at St James's.
Yeah.
I think Matt Shearer's record.
So. He's alright, isn't he?
He's still a toss.
He was alright. No, I thought he was alright. I never tried to give him a hard time.
He was bad.
I thought Pardew mismanaged him in a way, positionally wise, that he changed his position completely.
Pardew mismanaging people. Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
So
I'm not going back to them dogs.
Atsu. Great.
Oh,
we touched on him earlier on. Another one like Perez.
I wouldn't say great because we didn't have any shots. We had near possession, so he can't be great. If he was, he would have done more. But what I would say is
better.
You still have that threat when he gets the ball, proven for Perez's offside goal. he has that threat of being able to create
something,
something.
Isn't he?
And he's a lot more switched on, I think, defensively under Rafa certainly than what Kenedy is.
Yeah.
I think Atsu works hard. He works hard for the team, and I think you can't really knock him. You can't really knock him, to be fair. Like,
was Murphy on the bench?
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Right. Are we ever going to see Murphy?
I'll probably get wrong for saying it, but no, like, no. Why? I don't. He's clearly not offering anything, is he? Even in training, he mustn't be offering anything. You know what I mean? He's not. I mean, he had his chance at Everton in finish. He put a very good ball over for Rondon.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with that. But one cross doesn't, warrant your place. Like, do you know what I mean? And he's been a massive disappointment. And I don't care what anyone tries to say he has been.
So what we did see coming from the bench was Dummett. Dummett comes back. Kenedy. Actually, we'll touch on Kenedy. He did replace Kenedy. Dummett came on for Kenedy, if I remember right. And Kenedy, he's just, his decision making's poor. Like that shot where the ball lands at his foot just outside the box. Yeah. He's got Rondon in the box. I think he had Perez in there. He got Atsu just in front of him. He just whacks his laces in it, and then it's closer at the corner flag than the goal.
Yeah.
He's so wasteful at times with possession, with chances, decision making, and similar to the likes of Perez. We know that he's got some form of talent, better than what he's portraying on the pitch, which is another thing. It's frustrating. But if you had the option now to, at the end of the season, just go, right, done, would you let him go, or would you pay the money which Chelsea are asking for? So Chelsea last season were asking for 20 million. I can't imagine them being asking for 20 million now after his performances so far this season. So let's drop it down by 5. Bearing in mind we paid 12 for Murphy. If you're manager of this football club and owner of this football club, do you spend £15 on 15 quid? You would £15 million on Kenedy? So, or do you think there's better out there?
So I look at who we are. You know what I mean? I look at it as a team, and I think, like, who could we sign that you could guarantee offers more than him? I find it hard to find in my head now. Think, right, actually him. Do you know what it is? It sounds silly, but I probably still would, because I still feel there's something in there. Like, I do feel there's something in there, but. If you were going to turn around and say, well, he's going to play like that all the time, of course I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't. But I do honestly feel if you could find.
Do you think that £50 million would be a risk worth taking?
Right. So under new ownership, if that happened, then yes.
Right.
Under the current ownership, then no. Because if we're going to spend 15 million, it's only going to happen.
That's
once.
That's what done. Transfer window done for the next 2 years.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't. If the ownership wasn't changing, and we had that money to spend on one man, then I wouldn't. So
bearing in mind, we also had Townsend at the club.
Yeah, I love Townsend.
Do you think Townsend offered more than what Kenedy does?
Yeah, without any doubt, yes.
And man, the chance to buy Townsend for 12 million got me about.
Townsend was amazing.
Last season was not beginning this season before.
Absolutely loved him. I really did. I loved him. I love his energy. He was class, man. He was a really good player.
Great player. He was probably one of the only players that I know he was only here for 6 months. Was it 6 months he was here?
Yeah, he was January to the summer.
So he was probably one of the only ones that season we got relegated who could walk out of that club with his head held high.
He made a huge impact, didn't he, over that period of time. It actually feels like he was there longer, to be honest. I know you've just said that there, and you're right. I just felt he made such an impact with me. To be honest, Townsend, I loved him. I really did.
No, I agree.
And I would take him over Kenedy. Absolutely, actually.
So, like I was saying, Dummett came on for Kenedy. Dummett's going to struggle to get back in this team.
Yes.
So, back 3, I don't think Dummett fits in the back 3 whatsoever. I think Dummett's job is left back, and that's solely his job. Defensive wise, I don't think 3 at the back, with the likes of how well Clark's been playing, Shaw, Fernandez. Lascelles is going to be 4th choice coming into that back 3 if we're going to continue with back 3. Probably because he's captain of the club, and I would say his captaincy's probably keeping him that spot. Dummett's going to struggle to get back in there, because I can't imagine Dummett as a wing back.
No, but I do honestly believe he could play the left side of the 3 quite easily.
In replace of Clark? Bearing in mind how well Clark's played?
I agree with that one in part, but I mean, Rafa dropped him against, who was it? He scored against Burnley,
he got dropped,
and then he got dropped.
Lascelles that came in.
Yeah, that I think that was a strange one. But I'm always have been. I'm always for whoever's playing well plays. So if that, Lejeune and Dummett for me have to wait their turn.
I even forgot about Lejeune.
They have to wait their turn, and I know Lejeune's in training. It's fantastic, obviously, to see. It's amazing to see him back. Of course it is. But for me, I agree. Clark deserves his place.
Yeah.
He really does. And until he does, and not just one game either. When he starts doing, really underperforming, then right, okay, you're in. But then what you're going to find is Lejeune will get pissed off. Dummett will be like, oh, I was there every week.
So we're not holding on to these centre backs. There's no way we can have these centre backs at this club who are happy sitting on the bench.
I agree.
So obviously you've got Shaw, Fernandes, Lejeune are the top 3 who I think are straight away.
Yeah.
So centre backs, they want to be playing games, and if you're playing a back 3, chances are the 3 of them probably could squeeze in there. So that means like Lascelles won't want to feature.
Yeah, because
I
think Clark would.
I think Clark was second. So he'd happily be a second.
Yeah, so you'd have your 3 centre halves as you've mentioned, obviously, and then Clark would be the backup, and then Dummett to an extent. But I probably agree because we're only in one competition.
Yeah.
If we were challenging for other things, then you could have a bigger squad, or certainly in them positions. But no, I probably agree. Lascelles might, if it happened anyway, and that was your 3, Lascelles is getting dropped every week.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna hang around.
So you're choosing your back 3 now. I think everyone probably agree you're picking Lejeune, Shaw, and Fernandes.
Yes, yeah. And Lejeune, it's a funny one with Lejeune for me. Even now, I still struggle to just put him in there. Like, as much as I think he was good, but I don't know. I just feel he got injured for so long. He got injured again.
Do you not think
it's a long time?
He made the same impact as what Shaw's doing as well. Like, so Shaw now, that was Lejeune last season.
I don't think it's big personally, but that might just be me being wrong. I feel Shea's impact's been next level. I mean, next level.
Maybe because Lascelles was playing a lot better last season?
Maybe. I would say, would you say Fernandes' impact's been more than what Lejeune's was?
Fernandes, if Lascelles was to leave in January, that captain's armband would go straight to Fernandes. I wouldn't even think twice. I think he's just got it in him to be the captain of this football club. There's something about him and his presence on the pitch. I wouldn't even think twice about I wouldn't just have it, it's yours.
Yeah. I mean, give it to Clark at Burnley.
Yeah.
When Fernandes was on the pitch.
Dummett's obviously had it, but if you're going to give it to a player who's going to get his spot and get his start on 11,
he seems a leader, doesn't he?
It's Fernandes all day long. And it seems daft he's only been here God knows how long. But similar happened to Lascelles. Lascelles got the captaincy after what, 1 year?
Yeah, because he did the right thing, didn't he? He called a few players out. He went on telly and said what he said, and obviously, and I'm not knocking Lascelles. I don't want to try and ever knock him, but
I know I'm giving his captain's armband away already. I'm saying if he was to go, if he was to go,
I think what we need to kind of appreciate is that for once we're blessed.
Competition, isn't it?
And competition is key, and Rafa comments on that all the time. It's competition that end of the field.
Yeah.
What we would like
which
to see.
We've had for this solid back 3, back 4, back 5, whatever it's going to be. It's solid, and you saw it against Huddersfield. Huddersfield were putting the balls in left, right, and centre. We dealt with every single one of them.
And to be fair, I thought Lascelles did really well.
Yeah.
In the air, he'll win everything for you in the air.
He will.
And playing the centre of a 3, I think suits him. We've established the right of that 3 is not his position. He gets caught out time and time again.
He's got to be dead centre. He's got to be dead centre.
Yeah. Whereas Shea obviously can play that side quite easily, but I personally believe 3 at the back suits us down to the absolute ground. I feel like we're much more accomplished on the ball, we're more composed, we've got a really strong spine of the team when we play like that. There's a lot going for us, I think, in terms of that formation.
I agree. Shall we end this one? We've done well for not actually watching the game.
Well, being there certainly, yeah. No, but just end it,
Right, thank you very much.
I won you now.
I was waiting for that. I was going to remind you there. Thank you very much. If you haven't watched already, watch the Clark interview, watch the Meals player ratings. Aaron is supposed to be doing Root to Glory videos. God knows where he's gone. He's just moved up to the North East recently. He's moved back home, so he hasn't had the time to do it. So we're going to sack him off soon, and we're going to replace him. Thank you very much. No, we're not. Thank you.